Hello, welcome again to a new video. One that I had to convince my co-founder of to actually make because I wanted to do an insight into like the actual exact strategy that we implemented for one of our clients, ThinkNimble. And this strategy allowed us to book 32 meetings in a span of 11 days, which is just ridiculous end of the day. So I am outlining like the exact strategy, how we do it. I'm not giving away like their scripts or whatever because I don't want to do that. But with like the information that I'll give you in this video, you are definitely able to take that stuff away and to implement this on your own. So let's immediately dive in. To kick off, this is a screenshot of their campaign and sales tracker. As you can see, you can't see like the left, like the number tab or row or whatever it's called, but as you can see, you can count them. It's 32 in a span of 11 days. What we do and the strategy that we implement for a lot of our clients is the interview method, and this is a strategy that is working wonders for us at the moment. And it's both a strategy that you can use when you are not entirely sure on what your value proposition is, who your ideal client profile is, or how you can essentially address market demand, if that makes sense. And on the other hand, you can also use it when you have your ICP and value proposition dialed in, but then this is just a unique way of positioning a discovery call. So to give more insights into the first one, as soon as we partner with a company that doesn't have that stuff dialed in, we do a like big terror part of, okay, what is the current status that your company is in? So we are having a look at, okay, what kind of case studies do you have? We speak to their clients, we speak to their team, we collect as much information as possible on them, their business, their service, their clients, their employees, everything, to get a solid understanding of, okay, what kind of markets would be worth it to reach out to, essentially. So what kind of value proposition could we put together based on the information that we have right now? But that is, of course, many companies have not done any form of successful outbound in the past, so they don't know if their value proposition and their offer actually hits the pain points of the market that they are trying to reach out to. Because usually they get all of their business from referrals, word of mouth, own networks or whatever, and then like it doesn't really matter what your value proposition is. It's just, okay, I want software built, okay, I know someone, and these people get matched. Then it doesn't really matter what your value prop or your offer is. But if you are going to do cold outbound, you need to get into a place where you actually have a deep understanding of that. And there are a lot of like competitors of ours that do lead gen, just lead gen, and they look similar to us on the outside, but they like if you start working with them, they dive into running campaigns for you, and there's no way on earth that you can actually get that working, because like if you don't get the right message to the right person at the right time, then no one is buying from you and not even jumping on a meeting. So in our eyes, it's a mandatory process, and like for all of our clients, it's been a mandatory process to walk through. But we do a deep dive into the information that you have right now. We put that together, and then from there on, we start reaching out to the market with the interview method. What we are then trying to do is get confirmation on the assumptions that we made before. So we were thinking of like, okay, this is your value prop, this is your market, this is your ICP, but those are all assumptions because they've never been validated. So what we're going to do is reach out to them, and we position it as we are writing a research paper, for example, or a white paper or a market research report, however you want to position it, for X market and for X pain points. And like for our clients, we do the research, we insert the pain points, etc. And those pain points don't have to be that deep, but it's just, it plays into someone's ego when you like reach out to them with, hey, I want to interview you for a research that I am doing end of the day. So this will help us to, and again, for clients, we put together all of the questions that they need to ask, the script, how to record, how to like get information from potential prospects, essentially. We also train them on how you can convert as many interviews as possible into sales opportunities. So from there on those interview calls, clients have the option to actually do a very, very detailed session and ask a lot of questions. If you compare it to sales, and I run down a bit because I think it's in my notes somewhere here, but if you on a sales call, you have a limited amount of questions you can ask before someone like gets irritated and wants to know more, and like just stop asking questions is usually the thing that you get. But on an interview, people expect questions, and you have a lot of freedom. Like the more questions you ask, the better the interview is what they perceive. So you have a lot of room to play with and to do that. And that just allows you to like go really deep and go really ham on what is it that my market actually needs. What you then do is, let's say we would pinpoint 5 different markets that you want to reach out to. You have existing case studies in 5 markets that you like to work with, for example. Then you can take those 5, run these interview campaigns, and like the report that we'll create from all of those interview calls, we are going to review that. Okay, what is the most and what market will yield us the most ROI, essentially. That's what we're going to look at. Where is the biggest pain point? What kind of budgets do these companies have? What do they allocate to solve those problems? What time frame? What kind of people, etc. And then you have real market data, and you can see trends. If 10 companies are struggling with a similar problem, all have big budgets allocated to solve their problem, then we are going for that market. End of the day is, easiest decision to make. So that is more on like if you don't know your ICP. And what you then do is, of course, a lot of people, like some people have stuff figured out on their own, have their own internal tech team, IT team, whatever it might be, and they don't need anything, but they have, of course, like helped you. It's not like, don't see it as, okay, I didn't close this deal, I don't have anything, like I didn't get any value from it, because you got a lot of real market insights from someone who was probably otherwise unreachable, because they have their stuff figured out. If they have their own internal tech team, then no software development company is going to be able to work with them, because they've got that stuff sorted in-house. But you had the chance to speak to them and to make that connection and like to build a relationship, essentially. So it's also perceive it as a method to build your long-term pipeline. Like you've spoken to these people, you're reaching out, you're making that relationship, you can keep them in your pipeline, keep sharing value. Like don't try to hard sell them, but you can build that relationship over time. So that's it for like the interview itself. Then you have, okay, I know my ICP, but I want a more unique, I want to book more calls, I want a uniquer way, my market is highly competitive or whatever. Then you can use a similar approach. What you need to take into account is that overall, like the conversion from interview call to sales call is lower. The KPI that we have for like our own internal team and for clients is that we convert 20% of the interview calls to a like sales opportunity, whilst it's 60% of discovery calls. So that's a big difference, but like for a discovery call, you don't get the same amount of data back. That helps with further developing your offer, further applying to, because what a lot of people don't see is that, okay, you, let's say from like 4 people you interviewed, they all have similar problems, but that doesn't align with your current value proposition or current stuff that you solve. You can take that information and go and improve your offer and reach out to those similar businesses who are bigger than your usual ICP, for example. So it's kind of an endless feedback loop that you get into with the data that you collect. So that's it for the thought behind it. How can you actually put this into practice? I've taken the example of a business that does process optimization for logistics companies. A strategy that you want to do or could implement would look like something like this. So we define what people could we best reach out to, because it's like process optimization related. So you go for stuff like people like operations managers, a managing director, a supply chain manager, a COO, you can add to that list. What would they be striving for? And this is very high level, like you need to go deeper, but this is just to give you an example of how can you translate the information above into an actual interview strategy. What kind of KPIs are they striving for? That is probably something along the lines of how efficient are our employees at the moment, the amount of like inefficient use of capital, how much like unnecessary cost has been made, what is our profit margin, what is our delivery time, etc. That's like probably the main stuff that they are responsible for. Pain points they could currently have is that, for example, systems do not integrate, and that causes loss of insights into processes overall. And that causes, I don't know, there's a system that there's a lot of downtime, or it doesn't integrate with another tool, so we need to do stuff manually, or we are overall just doing a lot of stuff still on paper or like manually in sheets or whatever they are doing at the moment. That could be a pain point where like a lot of the manual work leads, and doing manual work is a pain point but not deep enough. What does doing manual work lead to? Lower revenue, or lower profit margin, less money to invest, like less money to hire new talent, less money to do research and development, improve your offer. And that's kind of like the path that you need to follow to dig into their pain points. Can we leverage existing success stories? A big one. Again, do you have something, and it doesn't have to be like a direct one-on-one match, but do you have a similar thing that you can leverage? Could be within the same target market, but it could also be a business that had similar problems. And if you go and put together this information and get insight into like, okay, these 4 main things, then you can one by one start defining some markets and some people that you can reach out to actually like get some conversations and some interviews going. So I hope this was valuable. So if you're in the first group of not knowing your ICP, for example, then definitely run this and go and validate the stuff that you're thinking of. And otherwise, this is definitely a good strategy to implement to make your outreach more unique. If you want any help, insights, advice on implementing this, or if you just want someone to take care of your end-to-end sales and marketing approach and get you around the table with 32 businesses in the span of 11 days, then you know who to reach out to. I look forward to talking to you if that's you, and if that sounds like music to your ears. That's it for today. I look forward to seeing you in the next video. Thank you.